I just played 106 poker tournaments in Las Vegas. I'm going to share with you the experience of that, the highs and the lows, how I dealt with the bad luck, how it felt along the way, and the journey of one specific tournament where I got to play for life-changing money. Good luck. So if we convert this pot into real money, with 15 people left, we're playing for $1.2 million and nearly 20 million chips in the pot. This one hand is worth around $200,000. I'm here at the WSOP. I'm about to go and play my first event, 10 a.m. start, and the 1K mystery bounty. I'm going to be playing probably over 100 tournaments in the next 7 weeks. I think I'm as prepared as I'm going to be, as prepared as I can be. I'm going to be putting in good practices every day to give myself the best chance I possibly can, and the rest is down to the poker gods.
Many months later.
So I go to Vegas every single year to play in the World Series of Poker. On the face of it, it's a really good opportunity as a tournament poker player. It's probably the highest return on investment ROI tournaments and the best win rate I can have, and I can make the most money and all like the good stuff. But deep down, I'm just a kid with a dream. Like I see these big fields, I see these big final tables, and I want to be there. I want to win one of these huge tournaments. And I thought about it so much, even since I was younger. I used to watch the World Series on TV when I was like 8 or 9 because my parents were into poker. I used to watch it, and obviously poker was very different in like 2003, but I'd be thinking I can make better decisions than some of these guys, like these random people playing for sometimes hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars. So it was always an aspiration of mine, even when I was a lot younger, to make it to the big stage, to be able to even play in these tournaments, let alone to run deep and to actually have a good chance of winning life-changing money. So I'm glad that I get to capture this and share it with you guys. The other thing with poker is it can be very emotionally challenging. I had a bad first few days overall in terms of just my results, even though it's a really small sample, but a few hands didn't go my way, a few hands I might have made mistakes or just got owned, and it was getting on top of me a little bit. It's very important to have a good routine, to get enough sleep, to eat well, to be consistent with your daily activities, to manage your risk so you don't bust the tournament and think, that was more money than I should have invested into that tournament. You always have to be ready for the worst case scenario. And you can play 20 tournaments and not cash easily. I know plenty of good players that did that this summer, that played more than 20 tournaments in a row and did not even cash. So it happens. You've got to be prepared for the worst. During this trip, I made extra efforts for my mental health. I made sure that I was going to the gym. I made sure I was eating as well as I could. I made sure I was getting the extra sleep. And I really do think it made a difference. I overcame a lot of challenges today, like software errors and bad beats and bad variants and all sorts of stuff. And I just kept pushing through it, and I think I played well to the very end. And I've been awake for a ridiculously long time now. I started playing at 10 a.m, finished playing after 1 a.m. So I'm gonna hopefully now go to sleep for 10 hours. You have to play a lot with tournaments, and you have to not get married to expectation, even though in reality, as a professional tournament poker player, the expectation is important, because if I'm not making profitable decisions, then I'm making bad decisions. So you have to almost expect that you're a winning player, but not that you're going to win. And it's such a paradox when you're playing. Honestly, out of the 6 to 7 weeks that I played, there wasn't that much excitement. There was a lot of cashes, I cashed a lot of events, but there wasn't that many times where I was really close to something that's gonna change my life. And I know that's just the way it is. Sometimes these opportunities won't come at all. But then one specific tournament, and of all tournaments, the WSOP Monster Stack, I would go as far to say as this is the second best tournament of the year for a No Limit Hold'em tournament player. And I say that because it has a really good structure. It attracts a lot of players. It gets a lot of recreational players. If there's a tournament to run deep in, this is the one. This is the one where you can really have an edge over your opponents. So I've been here for just over 2 weeks now, and I would say it's going very well, and I'm down at tournaments. I've lost like, I don't know what the numbers actually are right now, but say like minus 50% ROI altogether for like 45K in buy-ins, something around that. It just feels like nothing but positive so far. Like, I've been keeping up with the gym, I've been eating pretty healthily, I've been sleeping. This is my first day off now after 15 days, I think, and I'm only taking it because I already made day 2, and I could go play a 1-day 1K to win, but I think I should prescribe myself days off as and when, if the opportunity is there. Not to say that it's necessary, but it can only be helpful, right? There's nothing to write home about yet. There's no big 6-figure score or a huge success story, but I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling very positive. I feel like this is the best chance I've ever had.
I feel like I've got the highest win rate I've ever had. I think the fields have been absolutely ridiculous. I know I've got a lot better at the game to identify a lot more mistakes, and obviously I still have my own leagues and I still make mistakes every day too, but I can see the more glaring mistakes other people are making. It's just reassuring. I'm in a good headspace. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good about this one. Quietly optimistic. Yeah, you can't get too carried away in this game because there's thousands of players in these tournaments, and obviously the chances of actually having a six-figure score or having something that's really substantial is very small, but I'm here for it. It feels like it's going to be a good time.
So I'm well aware that on the day, it's luck, but I know that it only ever takes one tournament, just one tournament where you are lucky for however long the tournament goes on for, and it could change your life forever. And then lo and behold, the run came. I made day 3. I wasn't that excited yet because there's still hundreds of people left, but then day 3 went well, and day 3 kept going well, and then eventually I just bagged day 4 of the monster stack, and it was a really sort of clean day, if that's the right word. The first 4 levels, there wasn't really much movement, everything was kind of just nice, and then took some turbulence, but I kept winning. Like, if I lost a big part, I'd win a few small parts, and it was always like down and then back up, down and then back up, and I just felt more comfortable than I've ever felt in this position. I had a similar sweat a few years ago in double stack where I was in like the top 80 or something from over 4,000 runners, and I remember being really nervous and thinking like I can feel my heart racing like between the hands, and I could really feel like how big of a spot it was. But I think this time I just didn't feel it. I just felt really zen the whole way through. Even like lose a big pot or like make a call that's wrong, make a bluff that gets called, I just still felt really good. I just trusted my decision making. I got it in jacks versus 9s for a huge pot.
Good luck.
I could really feel my heart racing for that one. I was going, please hold. And then Queen's first ace-4 suited, I was saying, please hold, and I held. 43 players left, guaranteed just over $30,000. I think it's 1.16 million for first. So obviously that's a ridiculous amount of money and crazy exciting, but I'm just not letting myself think ahead. Playing one hand at a time, playing as good as I can in the moment, looking at the position I'm at, looking at the hand I'm at, and the rest is noise. I know I'm good enough to potentially win, but there's no point thinking ahead. It just doesn't do any help. Obviously I need to sleep tonight. I don't want to feel excited and entitled and like jump ahead. You just can't think ahead in this game, so I'm not thinking ahead. I'm feeling good. I'm going to play my best tomorrow. That's all I can do. So here's to hopefully running good tomorrow. So there's so much underlying excitement for me here because this is maybe the deepest run in a big World Series event with 7 figures up top that I've ever had. You can really feel it. You know, that's why I'm here. I'm here for these runs. I'm here for this opportunity. Even though there's still like 40 to 45 players left, it's still a long shot that I'm going to even make the final table, but it's so close. It's so close that you can feel it. You can feel that this is what the hard work is for. But then this gives way to a paradox because I'm so excited. This is a chance of a lifetime, but I can't think ahead. I can't think ahead of even one hand because imagine if I just start to hold on a little bit too tightly and I just don't take those opportunities and I just don't take some of those spots that I know are good spots. I don't risk my tournament life on the bluff that I think is a good bluff because I'm scared or because this is just too big of a situation. There's so much pressure on me that I blunder and I make mistakes. Like, you've got to be present, you've got to be focused, and you've got to not think ahead at all. Even though I know it's so close to something that will forever change my life, I have to just be present. I have to think of this hand in this moment. The context does not matter at all. It's just play as good as you can right now. That will give me the best win rate, and that will give me the best chance of winning the tournament. I had day 4 of the monster stack today. There was 43 players left. I started the day with average chips. And it was just an atrocious start to the day, you know, when you raise, you get 3-bet, you have to fold, you raise, you get 4-bet, you have to fold, you raise, you miss the board, end up losing post flop, and just every single hand didn't go my way. I went super short, and then I got lucky, win ace jack versus ace king when I had like 7.5 bigs to double, and then the whole tournament I was just on less than 20 bigs, sometimes less than 10 bigs, and just grinding away. I jam just over 6 bigs, like 6.5 bigs in the cutoff with king 8 off, which I think is close with ICM, but there wasn't a pay jump for a while. And the big blind looks at his cards, and then as soon as he like looks at both cards, he snap picks up the chips and puts them into call. So I'm like, oh, obviously I'm definitely behind when he calls that fast, but hopefully I'm not dominated. I mean, he can have like a smaller pair, he can have ace-x, but I'm gonna be like crushed a lot with the speed. And then he has 7-3 offsuit. You would not believe how I felt to see 7-3 offsuit snap calling me here. I couldn't believe it. Like, why even look at your cards if you're going to snap call with this one? Insane. Oh yeah, he won the tournament as well for like 1.16 million. That's why tournaments are great. So he's clearly just very, very recreational player that doesn't realize that it's a very easy fold. Like even just chip DV, let alone ICM. Then I go all in with King Jack offsuit for like just under 11 bigs in the cutoff, and same player tanks for ages, calls again.
Good luck.
Oh! You know, I try my best to be stoic, but I really couldn't help but let the emotion out here. That river card was insane. But again, then the blinds go up, so I never really get like a decent stack going, and then made the last two tables, get myself the pay jump, eventually 7 big blinds, I go all in with pocket nines in the like hijack, I think. And when you're in it, you can really feel how rare these opportunities are. You're so aware that you can go 250 tournaments without making a final table. You can go hundreds of tournaments without making the last two tables. Especially with over 8,000 players, there's maybe a 1 in 300 chance that I make the last two tables. I'm not going to play this tournament that many times in my lifetime, even if I play every single year. So here I am, possibly in the deepest run I will ever know in this tournament.
Good luck.
In this moment, before the river card is dealt, I have about an 86% chance of winning this pot. This pot is worth about $200,000 real money. That means the turn of this card, I own $172,000 of EV in the pot, and just by one turn of a card, I lose all of it. I bust out in 15th for about $57,000. Ridiculous, like how close it is to the most absurd score from such a small blind tournament, 8,300 players. I feel good, I think I played good. I made time to meditate, I made time to go to the gym, I ate really well, and felt really good throughout the whole tournament. My energy levels were good, my focus was good, I think I played really good. It was just 14 players away, so you never know. Hopefully the heater starts today. After this tournament, people kept approaching me and saying hard luck. Like, they know how it feels to be so close yet so far almost, and you can almost taste it. You're right there. And it's funny, like I ran so far above EV in this tournament. If my ROI is 100%, which is a really high ROI, it might not be that much. That means for $1,500 on average, I'm gonna cash for $3,000 for the 100% return. I cashed for about $57,000. That's so far beyond average, even if I'm a really good player. These runs are very rare, but it's a good day. It's a leap forward in the right direction. It's a sign things are going forward. It's also almost a lock for a profitable trip, which, you know, I've had a lot of trips when I've not made profit and I've just gone down and down and down playing tournaments, and it's so easily done. You have to be grateful in the moment, no matter how frustrating it might be that you're so close. You've got to look at it more objectively and just think, did I play well? Did I do my best? Did I put in all the effort that I could? Well, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. The poker gods get to decide when we get the $1.2 million cash, and it's just not this time. I played some online poker too. The WSOP.com tournaments are incredible.
This guy limp called pre, check calls flop, leads turn, I raise, and now he clicks it back. I'm absolutely terrified. Play the board. Hey, he's got Jack 9. He's got Jack 9. He's gonna jam, the pot's too big. Oh, he might get away. He might, nah, he's not folding. He's not folding a straight. Oh yeah, there's Jack. Wow, that is a mega pot. Chip lead pot, I think.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
One of the reasons that I love this game so much is because it's just such a good teacher. So it teaches me so much about myself. Like some days I'm battling in a river decision. I'm not sure how to play the river. Other days it's self-doubt. I don't know if I'm good enough. Other days it's entitlement. I think I deserve to win even though I haven't won. Other days it's financial pressure. Like, oh, I'm on a downswing for this amount of time. What if this persists? What am I gonna do? Am I risking too much? Am I not risking enough? There's always a battle. There's always a way to be a better poker player. It's not just a theory. It's how you deal with yourself. It's your mental game leaks as well as your strategical leaks. And there's always more to learn.
You know what's pretty sick? I just took a bad beat in a 5K. Probably my second favorite tournament of the trip for a huge potential stack near the bubble. Like,
insane opportunity, and I'm completely unfazed. I actually feel good. Genuinely, I'm excited to play the next tournament, which is just like, there's just no comparison to how like this experience would have been years ago. I guess you just got to measure things by things that aren't money when it comes to tournament poker, and try to win the day in other ways. It's nearly over. I have 2 more days, maybe 3 more days of play left. If I can say anything about this trip, it's that I think I've came a long way. The half-life of my negative experience is just the lowest it's ever been. My input has been as good as it can be. I've been like studying hands when I can. I've been present. I've been using my time wisely. It's just, I've done everything that I can. But despite that deep run and that really big cash, I ended up having a losing trip. I think mainly because I played a few 10K tournaments. I played, I think, 4 10K buy-ins, didn't cash them. I played a few 5Ks and bricked. It was about 150K in buy-ins. I cashed about 111K of about a minus 39K loss for the trip. But, you know, I sell more for bigger events because obviously the variance is higher, and that's just sensible bankroll management. So I ended up being close to break even for myself by the end of the trip. I can't complain. I got close. I go 14 more places in that tournament, and instead of losing about 39K on the trip, I win 1.1 million. How insane is that? Just because all of the money in tournament poker is at the final, and it's in the top 3, and it's mainly in the top 1. So if you don't win these tournaments, and these are really big field tournaments, you're always going to be on the back foot. You're always going to be below EV, so to speak. And when you win them, you're going to be insanely above EV. So it's just a crazy lifestyle that I've chosen for myself.
Oh shit, here we go again.
You've got to remember that tournament poker is a war of attrition. It's about turning up and turning up and turning up despite the bad luck, despite the bad variance, despite that your ace-king lost against ace-queen, despite that your pocket aces lost against ace-king all in pre. You play enough, this is inevitable. You can't hold on to this sort of stuff. You've just got to play as much as possible, do as much as you can off the tables to maximize your win rate, to have the best mental health you can possibly have, because that's very, very important along the way. You've got to live with yourself. You don't want to be holding on to all of this bad luck, to all of this run bad, because it's going to happen. You've got to find a way to just keep moving forward. And if you turn up enough and you keep moving forward enough, the win will come. At least that's what I keep telling myself, right? So even though I lost money on this trip, I felt like I won because my input, I had a good routine. I did what I set out to do. I think I was one of the best players on most of the tables that I had, at least in like the less than 5K buy-ins. And even on the 5 and 10K buy-ins, I felt like I was in contention to be in like the top 2 or 3 players at most of the tables. And I think that's just leaps and bounds from where I've been in the past. Every time I come back, I get better. I'm always better than the past version of myself. I'm always mentally better. I'm always studying more. I'm just doing as much as I can to win the trip, despite what the results are. And that's all you can do. The results will come if you have the right input. It was once my dream to just play. Now it's my dream to win. I've moved forward on that journey. I'm getting closer every single time. I'm gonna turn up again, and I'm gonna win one of these events one day. Even if it takes 1 year, if it takes 10 years, I'm gonna keep turning up until I've done it, because I know. It sounds silly, but I know. I kind of, maybe it's self-delusion, I don't know. Maybe that's how I motivate myself. But ultimately, deep down, I know that it's gonna happen, because I'm doing as best as I can and I'm enjoying the journey. It gives me purpose and I just love it. I love the game, I love what it gives to me. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and all the good stuff. It does help inspire me to keep creating more stuff. I've got a lot of good ideas for videos, but I have to make the time for it because I'm always studying poker, coaching poker, playing poker. I really have to set aside the time to actually get this stuff done and made. So seeing the numbers goes up is very inspiring. So anything you can do, if you can share the video or you can write a comment, it really does help. So if you're a tournament poker player and there's anything you can take away from this, it's just keep turning up. It's about how you feel, it's not about the end point. I may not have won the monster stack, but at the end of the day, that's one more thing still on my to-do list. It's still something that I can work towards. If I won it, well, then it's over. That journey is over. It's a new platform, it's a new position, it's a new journey. But I'm still on this one. Enjoy the journey you're on. Just make sure you're doing all you can to maximize your trajectory on that journey, and the rest is noise. Trust the process, enjoy the process, and what more can you do? Thanks for watching.